Breaking news, Viking Nation. The first revelation is about to shake the very foundations of U.S. Bank Stadium. 5 massive shockwaves are about to crash through Minnesota, and every single one could redefine the future of this franchise in ways you never saw coming. A legendary quarterback decision has been made, and it's not what some of you expected. A defensive warrior returns from the shadows, just in time for battle. A revenge game is brewing that could send shockwaves across the entire NFC. One of the greatest receivers in NFL history just crowned our guy as the absolute best in the league, and a linebacker who bleeds. Purple is about to storm back onto the field after weeks in the darkness. Each of these revelations carries the weight of a season, the fire of a fan base, and the fury of a team that refuses to back down. This isn't just news. This is the heartbeat of Viking Nation pounding through every word, every play, every single second of what's about to unfold. You're not ready for this, but you're about to witness it anyway. And if you believe in the Vikings more than you hate the Packers, hit that like button right now and let the world know where your loyalty lies. Because what comes next? It's pure chaos, and it starts right here, right now. Let's dive into the first bombshell that's about to detonate across Minnesota. A decision has been made at the most important position on the field, and the man under center for Sunday's showdown against the Philadelphia Eagles is none other than Carson Wentz. That's right, Viking Nation. Head coach Kevin O'Connell has officially named Wentz as the starting quarterback for Week 7, with J.J. McCarthy listed as the emergency third quarterback. Max Brosmer will serve as the backup, but all eyes are on Wentz as he prepares to face the team that once saw him as their franchise savior before they ripped that dream away and sent him packing. This isn't just another start for Wentz. This is personal. The Eagles drafted him with the 2nd overall pick in 2016, built an offense around him, and then replaced him with Jalen Hurts. 5 years in Philadelphia, and it all ended with a one-way ticket out of town. Since then, Wentz has bounced from Indianapolis to Washington, from Los Angeles to Kansas City, and now he's here in Minnesota, wearing the purple and gold, ready to prove every single doubter wrong. He's already started 3 games this season, going into one with 759 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. His completion percentage, a solid 69%. His fire, hotter than ever. But here's the twist that's got everyone talking. J.J. McCarthy is back at practice. The second-year quarterback has been sidelined since Week 2 with a high ankle sprain, and while he's not 100% yet, he's progressing. O'Connell has been crystal clear about the plan. They're not rushing McCarthy back. They're playing the long game, preparing him to be the franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. Not just 15 games. And you know what? That's the smart move. That's the kind of patience that builds dynasties, not disasters. McCarthy's return to practice is a huge step forward. He's been taking reps with the first team, working through the injury, testing his mobility, and showing that warrior mentality that got him drafted in the first round. O'Connell said it himself, "I feel comfortable enough in what would be considered that emergency capacity to be able to call some plays. I feel good after seeing him practice about some of the things that are still bothering him, but at the same time, some of the things he feels really good about from a movement standpoint." That's not just coach speak, that's real progress. That's a signal that McCarthy is knocking on the door, and when that door opens, Viking Nation better be ready for what's on the other side. So why stick with Wentz for now? Simple. He's earned it. He led the Vikings to a clutch victory over the Cleveland Browns in London, throwing a game-winning touchdown to Jordan Addison in the 4th quarter. He's shown poise under pressure, chemistry with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and the kind of veteran savvy that wins games in October. Yes, he struggled against the Steelers. Yes, he's had some shaky moments, but he's also proven he can deliver when it matters most. And on Sunday, when he steps onto that field and stares across at the Eagles' defense, a defense that doesn't even have a single player he used to line up with, he's going to have one thing on his mind: revenge. Here's the question for you, Viking Nation. Do you trust Carson Wentz to lead this team to victory on Sunday? Do you believe he's got what it takes to outdo Jalen Hurts and the defending Super Bowl champs? Or are you counting down the days until J.J. McCarthy gets back under center? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this quarterback situation is about to define the next chapter of Vikings football. And if you're riding with this team no matter who's at QB, smash that subscribe button and prove your loyalty. Because trust me, the next story is even more explosive. and it's coming at you like a freight train. Stay locked in, but hold on. As shocking as that quarterback news is, the next update cuts even deeper into the soul of this defense. The Minnesota Vikings have just activated Blake Cashman from injured reserve, and he's expected to start on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let that sink in for a second. The heart and soul of this linebacker corps, the guy who led the team with 112 tackles last season, the hometown hero from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, is back, and he's coming back with a vengeance. Cashman has been out since week 1, when he suffered a hamstring strain during the season opener against the Chicago Bears. It was a brutal blow for a defense that relies on his instincts, his physicality, and his leadership. But the Vikings were smart. They placed him on injured reserve, giving him the full 4 weeks to heal, and then used their bye week in week 6 to give him even more time. 5 full weeks of recovery, 5 weeks of watching from the sidelines, studying film, and counting down the days until he could strap on the helmet again. That wait is over. Blake Cashman isn't just another linebacker. He's a force. Last season, his first with the Vikings after signing a 3-year deal from the Houston Texans, he posted career highs across the board. 68 solo tackles, 112 total tackles, 4.5 sacks, 8 passes defended. He was 4th on the team in sacks and 5th in passes defended. But here's what really matters. He was the anchor of this defense. The guy who filled gaps, blew up running backs, and made quarterbacks think twice before throwing over the middle. His run defense grade from Pro Football Focus, an elite 84.7 in 2023 and a solid 73.9 last season. This man stops the run. Period. And right now, that's exactly what the Vikings need. Minnesota's defense has been dominant in some areas. They rank 2nd in the league in pass defense, but they've struggled against the run, sitting at 24th overall. That's a problem when you're about to face Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, 2 of the most explosive dual-threat weapons in the entire NFL. Barkley can break a 60-yard run on any play. Hurts can scramble for a first down when the pocket collapses. If the Vikings can't contain the run, they're going to be in for a long, painful afternoon. But with Cashman back in the lineup, everything changes. He's a downhill thumper who fills holes before running backs even see them. He's a sideline-to-sideline playmaker who can chase down ball carriers in the open field. He's a leader who brings energy, intensity, and accountability to every single snap. Defensive coordinator Brian Flores runs one of the most complex, aggressive schemes in the NFL, and Cashman is the perfect quarterback for that defense. He reads offenses like a book, adjusts on the fly, and makes sure everyone is lined up and ready to attack. The Eagles' offense has been struggling this season. They dropped from the 8th best offense in 2024 to the 3rd worst in 2025. They've lost the straight games. They're reeling. And now they have to come into US Bank Stadium and face a Vikings defense that just got its most important defensive player back. That's not a coincidence. That's a nightmare for Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. Here's the reality. Viking Nation, this defense was already ranked 6th overall before Cashman's return. Now, with him back in the middle, flying around, making tackles, and setting the tone, this unit is about to reach another level. The kind of level that wins playoff games. The kind of level that shuts down elite offenses. The kind of level that makes quarterbacks wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to see Blake Cashman make his season debut on Sunday? Are you ready to watch him blow up Saquon Barkley in the backfield and send a message to the rest of the NFC? If you are, drop a comment right now and let the world know that the Vikings defense is about to feast. And if you believe this defense is about to dominate the second half of the season, hit that subscribe button like your playoff hopes depend on it. Because they do. And just when fans thought it couldn't get crazier, here comes the next bombshell. And listen closely, because the next chapter of this story is the kind of news that writes itself. Carson Wentz isn't just starting on Sunday. He's starting against the team that drafted him, developed him, and then discarded him like yesterday's news. This is a revenge game, Viking Nation, and revenge games hit different. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. It was 2016. The Philadelphia Eagles held the 2nd overall pick in the NFL draft. They traded up to get it. They saw Carson Wentz as the future of their franchise, the guy who would lead them to Super Bowls and championships. And for a while, it looked like they were right. Wentz was electric. He was fearless. He was everything a franchise quarterback should be. But then injuries happened, struggles happened, and the Eagles made a decision that would change Wentz's life forever. They benched him for Jalen Hurts. That was the beginning of the end. Wentz was traded to the Indianapolis Colts, then to the Washington Commanders, then to the Rams, then to the Chiefs. 6 teams in 6 years, 6 different locker rooms, 6 different playbooks, 6 different chances to prove he still belongs. And now, after all of that, after all the doubt, after all the noise, he's back in a starting role, and he's about to face the team that started it all. Wentz has already faced the Eagles once since leaving Philadelphia. It was 2022. He was with the Commanders. The Eagles won 20-8. Wentz completed 25 of 43 passes for 211 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. It was a forgettable performance in a forgettable season. But this time is different. This time, Wentz has weapons. He is Justin Jefferson, one of the most dominant receivers in the NFL. He is Jordan Addison, a deep threat who can take the top off any defense. He is T.J. Hockenson, a tight end who commands attention over the middle. He is Jordan Mason, a running back who punishes defenses in the ground game. And here's the kicker, Wentz has been good this season. Not perfect, not elite, but good. He's 2-1 as a starter. He's thrown 5 touchdowns against 2 interceptions. He's completed nearly 70% of his passes. He's led a game-winning drive in the 4th quarter on foreign soil. He's shown the kind of clutch gene that wins football games in October and November. And now, with his entire offensive line healthier than it's been all season, Christian Darrisaw and Donovan Jackson are back at left tackle and left guard. Wentz has the protection he needs to carve up the Eagles' secondary. But let's be real for a second. This isn't just about stats. This isn't just about wins and losses. This is about respect. This is about proving to the Eagles organization, to the fans in Philadelphia, and to every single person who doubted him that Carson Wentz still has what it takes to win at the highest level. This is about walking into US Bank Stadium, looking across the field at Jalen Hurts, the guy who replaced him, and showing the world that he's not done yet, not even close. Kevin O'Connell knows what this game means to Wentz. He's been around the NFL long enough to understand the fire that burns inside a player when they face their former team, and O'Connell is smart enough to use that fire to his advantage. He's going to put Wentz in positions to succeed. He's going to call plays that highlight his strengths. He's going to give him every opportunity to silence the critics and prove that he belongs. Now, here's the question for you. Viking Nation, do you think Carson Wentz is going to ball out on Sunday and get his revenge? Do you think he's going to outplay Jalen Hurts and lead the Vikings to statement victory over the defending Super Bowl champs? Or do you think the pressure is going to get to him? Let me know in the comments right now, because this storyline is one of the best in the entire NFL this week. And if you're riding with Wentz and you believe he's going to shock the world on Sunday, hit that like button and let the haters know that Viking Nation stands united. Because as wild as this revenge storyline is, the next revelation is even more explosive, and it's heading straight for us. But that's not the only fire burning inside this franchise. The next revelation is pure validation, and it comes from one of the greatest to ever do it, Larry Fitzgerald, a living legend, a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and a man who knows greatness when he sees it. Just declared that Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Not one of the best, not top 5, not a rising star, the best, period. Fitzgerald made his declaration on the Rich Eisen show, and his reasoning was crystal clear. I think Justin Jefferson, for me, has everything, Fitzgerald said. I think Jamar Chase and Jefferson are neck and neck, but Jamar has had the luxury of having someone who's on the MVP list, a quality player like Joe Burrow, his entire career. Justin has done it with Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, Kirk Cousins. He's done it with so many different players, and his numbers never change. That's really a testament to being the best player. On the field, everybody knows where you are, and you still go out there and make play after play. Let that marinate for a second. Viking Nation. One of the most respected receivers in NFL history, a guy who spent 17 seasons torching defenses and rewriting record books, just told the entire football world that Justin Jefferson is the guy, not because of who's throwing him the ball, not because of the system he's in, but because of his talent, his consistency, and his dominance. No matter who's under center, Jefferson produces. No matter what defense he's facing, he wins. That's not luck, that's greatness. Jefferson has been putting up elite numbers since the day he stepped onto an NFL field. In his rookie season, he shattered records. In his second season, he cemented himself as one of the best young receivers in the league. In his third season, he was in the MVP conversation. And now, in 2025, with Carson Wentz throwing him the ball, he's still dominating, still making contested catches, still running routes that leave defenders grasping at air, still putting up numbers that make defensive coordinators lose sleep. Fitzgerald also highlighted what makes Jefferson so special, his ability to adapt. He represents all the right things, Fitzgerald said. He's in the long line of great Minnesota Vikings receivers. I'm a guy who likes home runs, and I'm from Minnesota, born and raised, so I still have a little Vikings love for him. That's respect. That's recognition. That's a legend passing the torch to the next generation. But here's what really separates Jefferson from the pack, his consistency. Ja'Marr Chase is an absolute beast when Joe Burrow is healthy, no doubt. But Burrow hasn't been healthy this season, and Chase's production has dipped. Meanwhile, Jefferson, he's out here balling with Carson Wentz, a quarterback who's on his sixth team in 6 years. He's catching passes from J.J. McCarthy, a rookie who's still finding his footing. He's making plays with Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, and anyone else who throws him the ball. That's not just talent, that's elite. And it's not just about the stats, it's about the moments. It's about the contested catches in traffic. It's about the sideline grabs that leave you wondering how he kept both feet inbounds. It's about the deep shots that change the momentum of a game. It's about the leadership, the work ethic, and the mentality that makes everyone around him better. Jefferson doesn't just play football, he dominates it. Fitzgerald's comments are more than just praise. They're a reminder to the rest of the NFL that Minnesota has one of the most dangerous weapons in the game. They're a warning to the Eagles that they better double-team Jefferson on every single play, because if they don't, he's going to torch them for 150 yards and the touchdowns. They're a statement to Viking Nation that this team has a generational talent who's just entering his prime. So here's my question for you. Do you agree with Larry Fitzgerald? Is Justin Jefferson the best wide receiver in the NFL right now? Or do you think Ja'Marr Chase, CeeDee Lamb, or Tyreek Hill deserve that crown? Drop your answer in the comments, because this debate is heating up across the league. And if you believe Jefferson is the absolute best and nobody else is even close, hit that subscribe button and show the world that Viking Nation knows greatness when we see it. Because if you thought that was wild, the next headline is pure shock, and it's about to blow your mind. And now we arrive at the final revelation. Viking Nation, the one. That ties everything together and sets the stage for what could be the most defining stretch of this entire season. Blake Cashman has officially been designated for return from injured reserve, and the Vikings wasted no time activating him. This isn't just a roster move. This is a statement. This is a declaration that the Vikings defense is about to reach its final form, and the rest of the NFC better take notice. Cashman opened his 21-day practice window earlier this week, and the Vikings made the decision to activate him immediately. That tells you everything you need to know about how important he is to this defense. They could have waited. They could have eased him back slowly, but they didn't. They brought him back as fast as possible because they know what he brings to the table: toughness, intelligence, and the ability to change the entire dynamic of this defense. Let's talk numbers for a second. Last season, Cashman recorded 112 total tackles, 68 solo tackles for 0.5 sacks, and 8 passes defended. He was a full-time starter, a captain on defense, and one of the most productive linebackers in the entire league. His ability to stop the run, cover tight ends, and blitz off the edge made him one of the most versatile defenders in Minnesota. And now, after 5 weeks on the shelf, he's back and ready to remind the league why he's one of the best at his position. But here's the thing that makes Cashman's return even more significant: his contract. He's signed through 2026, but his $6.9 million base salary for next season isn't guaranteed. That means every snap he plays for the rest of this season is an audition for his future in Minnesota. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to produce. He needs to prove that he's still the same player who dominated in 2024. And knowing Cashman, knowing his work ethic, knowing his pride, he's going to do exactly that. The Vikings defense is already ranked 6th overall in the NFL, and they're second in pass defense. but their Achilles heel has been the run game, where they rank 24th. That's where Cashman comes in. He's a downhill, physical linebacker who fills gaps, sheds blocks, and makes tackles in the backfield. With him back in the lineup, the Vikings can finally shore up their run defense and become a complete unit on that side of the ball. And let's not forget, the Eagles' offense is struggling. They've dropped from the 8th best offense in 2024 to the 3rd worst in 2025. They've lost 2 straight games. They're coming into US Bank Stadium desperate for a win, and they're about to face a Vikings defense that just got its most important player back. Saquon Barkley is a monster, no doubt. Jalen Hurts is a dual-threat nightmare. But this Vikings defense, with Cashman flying around, Jonathan Greenard coming off the edge, and Brian Flores dialing up pressure from every angle, that's a recipe for chaos. So here's the reality. Viking Nation, this team is 5-1. They're coming off a bye week. They're getting healthier. They have Carson Wentz under center, ready to exact revenge on his former team. They have Justin Jefferson, who just got crowned the best receiver in the NFL by a Hall of Famer. They have Blake Cashman back in the middle of the defense, ready to wreak havoc. And they have a home crowd that's about to bring the noise like never before. This isn't just another game. This is a statement game. This is a chance to prove to the entire NFL that the Vikings are for real. This is a chance to knock off the defending Super Bowl champs and send a message that this team is built for the playoffs. This is a chance for Carson Wentz to get his revenge, for Justin Jefferson to dominate on the biggest stage, and for Blake Cashman to remind everyone why he's one of the most important players on this roster. But here's my final question for you, Viking Nation. Are you ready? Are you ready to watch this team go out there and make a statement? Are you ready to see Carson Wentz silence the doubters, Justin Jefferson put on a show, and Blake Cashman lead this defense to a dominant performance? If you are, drop a comment right now and let me know. Hit that like button if you believe the Vikings are about to shock the world. And smash that subscribe button if you're riding with this team no matter what. Because the rest of this season is about to get wild. And one more thing, if this week felt like an earthquake, what's coming next could be the aftershock that topples the whole season. The Vikings have the Chargers on Thursday night, then the Lions, then the Ravens. This stretch is going to define who they really are. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and get ready, because Viking Nation is about to witness history. Skål!